Welcome back to the channel. Today I am back in St. Elmo in Chattanooga to ride the Lookout Mountain Incline Railway for the very first time. No trip to St. Elmo is complete without stopping at Goodman's Coffee Roasters for a cup of coffee in the morning, and it's one of the reasons why I decided to come back on Monday to ride the incline rather than Sunday, because they're closed on Sunday. So I'm going to go get a ticket and then let's get on the train. Pretty much up on top of the mountain is an interesting experience. And the nice thing about the Incline Railway is that it's just about 3 blocks away from Point Park, which is a really, really nice place to go visit. A lot of trails. You can go down to Craven's house from there. You can go down to Sunset Rock, not far from there. So we're going to walk up there now and take a look around. All right, I am now at Point Park. We came up the incline, about a 10-15 minute ride up the incline. There's parking down below. It does cost you to park there, but the parking is for 21 hours, so you got all day. If you come up here, the parking up here is free. You can ride the incline down to St. Elmo, visit around, and come back up if you want to do it that way. Or you can just drive here. But Point Park is just a beautiful place if you just want to go walking or if you want to explore the history of the place. But there is a cost. It is $10. That is a 7-day pass. You know, if you're here on vacation in Chattanooga, or if you live here in Chattanooga and want to come up here 2 or 3 times in a week, that works out pretty well. This is probably my favorite spot of all at Point Park. These cannons here kind of give you an idea of how the Southern regiments were trying to protect the area from the Union soldiers in the valley below. But you can literally see for 10 or 15 miles on a clear day. So this was a strategic vantage point to be able to sort of watch troop movements and see where everybody was. And the view from here of the Tennessee River down below and Interstate 24 winding through is just absolutely beautiful. But if you come to Point Park, this is the place to come and stand and just look and admire. It is absolutely fantastic. There is a small museum here at Point Park, and I'm going to take you down these stairs to get down there. It's a nice, easy walk down, but just remember, anytime you're on a mountain, that anytime you go down, you have to come back up. And that's when it's not so fun. Directly ahead of us is this very, very tiny museum. When I say it's a small museum, I mean it's like tiny house small museum. But there's also a path. We'll take this path first before we go through there. This path will take you down ultimately to either Craven's house, or if you go the other direction, it will take you to Sunset Rock. But like everything up here on the mountain, it also has an absolutely spectacular view. This is absolutely beautiful. I'm not sure my video is going to be able to do it justice, but you will see off in the distance here, I'll see if I can zoom in when I go into DaVinci. There is a cloud inversion over there, and I'm pretty sure that's Prentice Cooper and Snooper's Rock area. That's about an hour. To get to Snooper's Rock is about an hour from Chattanooga. But to go there for sunrise when there's a cloud inversion is one of the most spectacular things you will ever experience in your life. This is the entrance into the museum, and again, you've got this absolutely gorgeous view out over the Tennessee River. This is just a little tiny room to give you sort of a brief history of this particular spot. So this is some information about the Signal Corps and how the Army had developed a new method of communicating by using flag signals. And there's pictures around the wall here that were all taken on this spot during the time of the Civil War, so the 1860s, including one picture here with the camera, one of the cameras that were actually taking the pictures. There's also a place here that talks about the cameras they use, this sliding box camera. And one of the things about this camera is that it only made a print in one size. So if you wanted to enlarge the print, you got a bigger camera. And this is an example of what that camera was capable of doing in 1865. And I'll be honest, I don't do any better today. And then the other part of the exhibit talks about the infamous Trail of Tears, where the Cherokee were removed from this area. Very, very bad time in our history. Some other history of the Moccasin Bend area when the Indians controlled it. And then also a map over here with an example of what hardtack looks like. Hardtack was a 3x3 sort of cracker that was really, really hard to chew. And all of the people in the Army were issued 9 per day, 3 per meal. And they would live off of this for the most part. Like I said, this is my first time to ride the incline. If I were to have visitors coming to see me in Chattanooga and they wanted to come to Lookout Mountain, I would probably do it again. Not sure it's something I'd want to do every week. It's a very interesting ride, and it's slow going. Keep in mind, there is no air conditioning. There are a couple of windows that are open, but that's about it. So it's pretty hot. But the view is spectacular. And then Point Park is definitely worth the 3-block walk. There is a museum across the street that lists all of the battles of this area and gives you an overview of the history here. I have to say that the Chattanooga area and the Franklin area over closer to Nashville, to me, probably has the most interesting Civil War spots. to go and look at. And in Chattanooga, again, to me, if you've been here and you've been somewhere else, feel free to tell me in the comments. But I find this to be just a beautiful place to come, not only to learn about the history of the war that divided our nation and almost caused us to not survive, but it is so quiet and peaceful and serene, and there are walking trails all around it. So if you just wanted to come in and take a walk, it's absolutely gorgeous. Hope you've enjoyed our little time together here on the Incline Railway from St. Elmo and Point Park. And in future videos, we might look at Ruby Falls and Rock City. Everybody wants to see Rock City. But for today, I appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.